Hello, testing. This is a test. I want to welcome everyone to the very first episode of, what the fuck's the name of the show? Fucking Tune Around. Fucking Tune Around. So it's called Tune Around, and basically what it is going to be watching episodes of some of my favorite shows from back in the day, from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't have to be the best show or anything. It's just going to be any show. Could be random episodes, could be in a row. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to watch however I'm feeling when I'm recording and see what gives. And we'll go from there. So the first episode that I'm going to be watching, or that we're going to be watching together, if you will, is going to be Season 1, Episode 1 of ReBoot. So go ahead and get yourself ready. And I'm kind of just going to chime in your ear a little bit once in a while. It's more like if you need a compadre to watch the episodes along with. Once in a while, I'll just rant and talk about random stuff. So see how it goes. See how things go. Play out kind of thing, So. But anyways, Season 1, Episode 1, ReBoot. Here we go. No further ado. 3, 2, 1, play. So basically, I'm looking at the timer. We're at 6 seconds, 7 seconds. And counting. We got the intro to ReBoot. Yeah. Missed this show. This show is one of the greatest shows of all time, in my opinion. Of course, I only care about my opinion sometimes. But anyways. Oh, what a great show. There was 3 seasons of this show. The first season, I remember it being, well, obviously the basic, the original animation and everything. And then I think Season 2 or 3, it switched over to the, I don't know if it switched to animation, but it got a little bit better, and Enzo grew up. New characters show up and all that. But I find it looks, maybe the characters have more expression on their face. They look less simple. So here we go. The episode is called The Tearing, written by Mark Hofferman Kramer. Oh, hack and slash. Those guys were like the anti-villain, anti-hero, whatever. They were like the bad guys who you kind of liked because you were like, I think they're just stuck where they are with Megabyte doing his dumb crap. And they're dumb too, so they get what they got coming, just like now. I love that. It's good wallpaper right there. Megabyte in those vid windows. God. I feel like it's only a matter of time before we're going to have that. It's only a matter of time. We're going to have... It looks like the Windows 98, But I think at the time it was 95 and 98. Oh, that 8-ball. Who lives there? Oh, Bob lives there. Bob has a house on the top floor. Automation. Oh man, I feel like anybody can just pop up at any time watching pissing or... Oh man. Yeah, no, that'd be good though. I mean, it's got its advantages. Oh yeah, first get that beefed up dog. Feeding that dog steroids. I wish someday in the future somebody would make that diner, recreate that diner with a robot moving around, taking your order. I feel like it's going to happen. I mean, it has to happen. I mean, everything's gonna get recreated at some point. So, oh, Enzo. Oh man, I like the colors of the skin. Those teal blues and those purples like that. I wonder how this show was first introduced to people. I feel like they didn't really do much. They just kind of, here you go, here's ReBoot. Played on YTV back in the day. Yeah, those were ones and zeros. I remember that. Those were ones and zeros, and they were everywhere. But what if Bob's a guardian? Then what does that make? What does that make Enzo and Dot? I feel like I missed out so much information on this show. Like, probably so many people know more about this show. Well, obviously. Wow, like Megabyte can just pop up at any time and surprise you. Why can't they surprise him? Well, I think they can, but then why wouldn't they? Oh, why wouldn't they just pop in and see what he's up to and spy on him like they just spied on Enzo? Yeah, pop in at any time, just spy on the enemy, and I feel like if you had that today, you wouldn't even. I don't know, nothing would happen. Oh man, I wish they put Megabyte in Smash Bros. Warning, incoming game, motherfuckers. Same. I feel like they would have prepared better knowing that these things come in every once in a while like a hurricane and can really mess things up unless Bob's in there. Maybe they wouldn't have built the mass cities around the areas where that game falls. Oh, look at the detail. See the city in the back and everything. Like even the shading for its time. Like I feel like today, with given all the advances we have, nobody would spend that much detail as much as they did back then with what they were given. It's incredible. Like I'm watching something from probably 1995, 96, and it looks. I mean, it obviously looks from that time, but I'm just saying, like, it's you got to appreciate the look. It never nothing anything like it, and even Beast Wars, when that came out, I always thought that ReBoot was the influence on Beast Wars and Beasties, and everything afterwards, everything after since. So I don't know. Even the expressions on the characters. So what happens? The user wins. Oh man, just like this is definitely the pilot episode. They're testing things out. They're showing off what they can do with the characters. They're showing off the animations. Probably to like the studio that was going to take it or the original pilot. I don't know. I'm not sure how the show is made. I went to a Comic Con once, and one of the I think it was Jim Sue, one of the art directors, one of the guys that worked on ReBoot season 3 was there, and he was there signing posters and whatnot, little selling paraphernalia, and he was saying that he was hoping that they were gonna get enough money to finish off those movies they were working on. They never finished, but Yeah, I guess that's not happening now with the new show and everything. Oh, Fong, man, that wise man. Fong doesn't even have legs. He's just hovering around with all his knowledge. Yo, that guy's neck. We know everything about this guy. We know we can see him every minute, anytime. I'm just watching the base of his neck because it's like wiggling. Looks like a lightsaber effect. Looks wicked. Oh, the shading on the emblem, the reboot emblem there on his Bob's chest. Never really paid attention, but look at the way it reflects even like the slightest as he moves. Like they don't do that today. Like because I think this was all done in a computer with its own engine and its own set of rules. So everything just flows every episode. So it's almost like a video game, but instead of playing, they just make cinematics. Today, when would you ever see that kind of reflection? It's because of the computer. It's because of the software doing that. It's man and machine working together, making art. You know. Yeah, and just so you know, if ever I'm getting annoying or just talking too much or ranting, and feel free to turn me down, no problem. Turn me back up whenever. You guys are free to do whatever you want. I'm just hanging out, having a good time, watching some shows, and hopefully later on making a few more episodes, seeing how things go. And good to have everybody who's here, who tuned in, who took the time to pay attention, watch a great show like ReBoot. You know, season 1, episode 1 doesn't get any better. You start right off, start fresh. I feel like it's one of those shows where, you know, I can go right back. I feel like I started with episode 1 when it came out. It was shown to me on YTV. Just watched it. I didn't really think much of it when it came out. It was just one of those things. It was on, and every time it was on, I wanted to keep watching. I never stopped watching, so that means it's good. That means it caught my attention. I wonder how it would do today with younger generations. I'd have to see. I'm really curious because unless people have already been exposed, it's like old video games. How is it to go back and play the old ones after playing those new ones? You know. Megabyte with that freaking Star Wars army. Yo, black-eyed Megabyte. I wonder, does he ever show that again in the show? Huh. Unless it's like a shading option because it's too bright. Almost like a frog or like a cat. When I was a kid, they should have marketed that watch. They should have marketed Glitch. At least a freaking like look-alike wristband. For $20, I would have bought it. Same. You buy your Glitch and your ReBoot badge. You put that on your shoulder. They would have made. They would have made some money. I feel. I wonder who owns that. Like if they were to resell some toys again. Hey. Yeah, man. Megabyte, the ultimate villain. Just the look. You don't even have to say anything, and you look at him and you go, Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to mess with that guy. That guy can change legs. He's interchangeable. He just sits there with his waist at his side. Damn. What do you mean if necessary? I thought it's like that's his arch rival. Don't you want to destroy him? Then what's your purpose? Oh, his teeth. It's a shark. Yeah, that's what it is. The guy looks like a shark. He's got that fin on the back. Yeah, look at the way Dot's just swaying and moving in air. It looks so natural. Auga. Oh, look at those. Look at those visuals. Oh, that's cool. Imagine the amount of work they would have to go through. All to tell a story. Look at that face. Yeah, I remember this. I remember this. YTV used to have a promo for the show where Megabyte was running up. That used to freak me out. And that didn't age well. Right on top. Two games in one episode. Oh, for real? Now that I think about it, just looking at this game that they're in, I wish I could play this as a game. Reboot missed out on so many opportunities. They could have made the ultimate video game where you go in the world of Reboot and you can just go in any game. It's multiple games, you know? There was that game for the PS1. I remember you just go around on the glider collecting things using glitch to as a beam to capture objects and kill enemies. There was a timer and whatnot. I'll probably do a video on the game as well. I have the game. Yeah, straight out of Star Wars. Oh, the one dropping the 1138. Oh, for those of you that don't know, George Lucas's first production company was 1138 Productions, I believe. And anyways, in every Star Wars movie, there's a reference to the number 1138. Like a droid will have 1138. I think Princess Leia was in cell block 1138, something like that. So just the fact that they put that in there, and this is in 1995, 96. Those guys know their Star Wars. They're putting this in episode 1. So it just goes to show where they got where their brains are. They're Star Wars geeks. They're putting in 1138. It doesn't get any better. The detail, just the amount of asteroids they put in there. They really cared. You could tell the artists that work on the show really cared about the show. It's so sad they got canceled or they got lost funding. They deserved better. This is great. Oh man, I'm just these graphics. ultimate power station. All battle stations operational. Woo. Oh, I just want to see the other Star Wars references. Nice. There's one right there. The obvious one. Plot. They're on Hoth. Oh, that looks like they're on a Mario Kart ice snow level. They'd be going down a tunnel, picking up some items, throwing a green shell. Pew pew. Oh man, you better get out of there. Pull the lever. Kiss me, Bob. Oh, I wonder if there's any good Megabyte tattoos out there. Glitch, play the game and win for me. Oh, with the win. Megabyte, you derp. Ah, Megabyte. Could have just walked in, man, and just won. So what happens? He wins? But what happens if Megabyte wins? Does that mean he puts a virus or something? Oh, maybe he stays in the game, and then the game leaves and he gets deleted. Anything that's not part of the game. Uh-huh. Yeah, Megabyte was already out to get him anyway. Mm-hmm. Nah, man, you own the place. Nah, that guy owns the place. Well, anyways, that was the first episode. Uh, hope you liked it. I thought the episode was good, to be honest with you. Thought it was good. Solid episode. Typical pilot. I think, well, not a typical pilot, to be honest with you. It was a good first episode. It says here 1991. Well, that may just be the company. Huh. But yeah, episode 1. I feel like they pulled all the stops. They made it look like a good thing. Maybe when they wanted to pitch it to YTV or something, or I'm not sure. Or maybe YTV funded it in order for it to happen. So they were going to make a show anyway, and they said, use up the money, use the funds well, put a good first season, see how it goes, and then it did great. I'm pretty sure it did great. I mean, I remember it did great. Everybody talked about it. The thing is, nobody had internet back then, and nobody talked about things as frequently as we do today. So the hype isn't as big. So back then, the hype, you only had a few things on your plate. You didn't have 10 shows to talk. You had your shows, but you didn't have freaking all the shows now like you did today. So, yeah, but that was a good first episode. Bob is established as the hero. You see the characters. You see pretty much most of the characters. Most of the main villain, the main good guy, his co-pilots, his trusty Enzo and Frisket. You see the diner. The diner is a symbol. The diner is a symbol of ReBoot. It's in the first episode. You see it in the first episode. It affects the show. When you see the diner, it means ReBoot. It's even, I remember it's in the first level of the game. So I think the diner is one of those things. Please recreate the diner. If anybody can recreate the diner, that'd be awesome. But anyways, that's it for the first episode. I'm going to just throw this up as a podcast. We'll watch another episode, maybe episode 2. Maybe watch something else. See how it goes. And thanks for watching. And sorry for all the hiccups and all that, and maybe all the ranting and repetitiveness. But I'll fix myself and move on from there. All right, take care.